Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to I Bloom Cafe. As you all know by now, this is where we all meet every once in a while to talk about the small things that make big differences in our lives. And just because I bring you these nuggets doesn't mean that I'm above all the ordinary, everyday, mundane concerns that you all go through. I have my own share of hiccups and hurdles and upheavals. But then over a period of time, I have learned to deal with them in many ways, and the experiences that I have gone through, and the lessons that I have learned, and the way I have reinvented myself in newer ways is what I try to bring to you all. Every single thing that I speak to you comes from my very own personal experience. So much for the authenticity of my words to you. To give you an instance, a couple of days ago, I was at my lowest ebb. Yes, of course, I go through those periods too. We are all human beings. There's no one above these normal concerns and these normal worries and anxieties. But then how we deal with them when we are faced with those circumstances and situations is what makes us all different from one another. So I was at this low point where I was feeling as if I was not going anywhere, despite all my struggles. And it's funny that I must use that word, and it's about struggles that I'm going to speak to you today. Despite all my efforts, I must say, despite everything that I was putting into my new enterprise, despite all the hours that I was slogging and I was putting myself to stretch, things didn't seem to move at all. It seemed as if I was spinning in the same spot. And these are thoughts that keep coming every now and then. They keep recurring. But then I find new ways to put them away and then to keep going. But 2 days ago was not one such occasion. It was as if I was being sucked into a sinkhole and I had no escape. I was doing everything that I could. Why else wasn't I moving on? I've been through this for many, many, many years, and I've told myself that I've come a long way from where I was. Yet, here was one of those days when I felt I had not moved an inch from where I was decades ago. What could I do about it? And sometimes your mind is relentless. It never lets you think anything other than what it forces on you. And that's when the struggle starts. I fought my thoughts. I fought my emotion. I fought that sinking feeling of inadequacy, of not having done enough, of not being able to do enough to reach where I want to reach. Not that I had huge aspirations, but then there was a certain goal that I had set for myself, and even that goal seemed light years away from me. I'm coming back and telling you again that it was one of those days, and none of us can escape those moments in life. We all go through it. I go through it too. And so this huge fight between me and my thoughts, between me and my situation began. It was as if I was trying to gain control over them and they were trying to gain control over me. There was a huge tug of war between us, me and my thoughts. Now that's where I want you to pay attention. Me and my thoughts. It went on. It went on. There was nothing I could do. I wasn't working. The very sight of my laptop made me want to quit everything and run away somewhere. I just crashed. I just went and slept for 2 hours. I said, I'm going to drop everything now and then pick it up later, no matter what happens. There's nothing that I can do now to make things better or get things going. So then I went and slept. Sleep wasn't forthcoming, but I forced myself into some sleep. And then when I woke up, it was as if something had happened to me. Some inner voice from somewhere in my sleep had come and said to me, do you know what is causing all this agony and the suffering? Your struggle with the situation. Stop struggling. If this is your situation, if you are unable to move an inch from where you are, and if that is the truth, and if that is the situation, the more you struggle with that situation, the worse it's going to make you feel. Your suffering comes from your struggle with your thought that you are not doing enough. And for all you know, even the thought that I'm not doing enough may be wrong. But it was one of those days when that thought reigned supreme. So then that inner voice said to me that I must drop the struggle. Mind those words. Drop the struggle. And when I woke up, I felt fresher than what I had before. I knew I had one thing to do, to drop the struggle I was having with my thoughts and with my belief and with the situation. If anything could get better, it could get better only with my action. I just needed to think what I had to do next. If there was anything at all for me to do next. And if there was nothing that I could do, then it's simpler. I just had to stay put. Often, staying put is the solution to most of our problems. So my message here today for you all is drop the struggle. No matter in which area of life it is, in which walk of life you are in, and what the situation is. Your situation is not going to drastically change because of your struggle with the situation or with the struggle that you're having with your thoughts and your belief and your emotion that the situation is evoking in you. Let the situation reveal for itself. Let time take its own course and help you solve the challenge that you are facing. Because there's nothing more that we can do. The moment you drop the struggle, feel the peace, feel the relief, feel the comfort in your heart, because the strife is gone, the fight is gone, the struggle is gone, the strain is gone. What remains is just you and something outside of you called your thoughts, your emotions, and your situations. You are completely separated from those external factors that seem to wield such a huge power on you. Make no mistake, they cannot wield any power on you unless you allow them to. Know that you are different from your circumstances. You are different from the thoughts that your circumstances evoke in you. You are different from the responses that you give to those thoughts and circumstances. And when you know that you are different from all of that, that is when peace reigns. Struggle, I once thought, was a glorious word. We have learned to glorify, we have learned to romanticize the word struggle. But no, it might be so externally, but within us, what struggle causes is a huge amount of tension and a huge amount of negativity and a huge amount of pain, which we all could do without. So drop the struggle. Let things sort themselves out as they will. Until we meet again in another video, keep glowing and keep growing. This is your life writing friend, Asha.